In the winter of 1904, a British geographer stepped into the halls of the Royal Geographical Society and delivered a theory that would shape the course of global power for a century. His name was Halford John Mackinder, and his idea was simple, yet profound. Who rules East Europe commands the Heartland. Who rules the Heartland commands the world island. Who rules the world island commands the world. At the dawn of the 20th century, Britain ruled the waves. The seas were the arteries of empire, from Calcutta to Cairo, from London to Singapore. But Mackinder saw a shift beneath the surface. The railroads, he argued, had changed everything. With steel tracks slicing through Eurasia, the age of maritime dominance was giving way to a new strategic geography, one dominated not by sea powers, but by land powers. He called this central landmass the Heartland, a vast region stretching from the Volga River to the Yangtze, from the Arctic Ocean to the Himalayas. A fortress ringed by ice, mountains, and deserts, impenetrable by navy, unstoppable by rail. Mackinder divided the world into concentric zones of power. At the center, the Heartland. Surrounding it, the Inner Crescent, Europe, the Middle East, South Asia, and East Asia. Beyond that, the Outer Crescent, the Americas, Britain, Japan, Australasia. Together, the Heartland and Inner Crescent formed what he called the World Island, the largest, most populous, most resource-rich landmass on Earth. And whoever controlled the Heartland, he argued, could project power over the rest of this mega-continent, and in time, over the entire world. At first, Mackinder's theory seemed like academic speculation. But then came 2 world wars, and a Cold War that split the Heartland in half. Nazi Germany invaded East Europe to access the Heartland. The Soviet Union fortified it with nuclear weapons and tanks. NATO encircled it with bases and alliances. From Operation Barbarossa to the Iron Curtain, the logic of Heartland control drove policy in Berlin, Moscow, and Washington. Even Zbigniew Brzezinski, U.S. National Security Advisor under Carter, wrote decades later, "Eurasia is the chessboard on which the struggle for global primacy continues to be played." The Cold War ended, but the Heartland never lost its grip on strategy. Today, Russia defends its western frontier in Ukraine and Belarus, just as Mackinder predicted. China builds railroads through Central Asia, pipelines across Siberia, and trade routes that echo the very logic of Heartland domination. The U.S. responds not with railroads, but with alliances. NATO in the west, Quad in the east, CENTCOM in the middle. The great game never ended. It just changed players and platforms. Critics argue that Mackinder's theory is outdated. In a world of satellites, cyber warfare, and intercontinental missiles, can geography still dictate power? But even today, strategists study the Heartland when forecasting Chinese-Russian alignment, pipeline politics, or Arctic militarization. Mackinder's ghost haunts every map where power flows through land rather than sea. Over a century ago, a British geographer gave us a map, not of terrain, but of power. Whether we live in an era of empires, Cold Wars, or trade networks, the heart of global strategy may still lie in the Heartland. Geography is the stage, strategy is the script. Halford Mackinder.